And here we are. Good morning. It is a Thursday morning, the 13th of the month. I'm Wayne Alley, and this is WGTV Today.
Good morning. I'm Kim Best. Glad you're here with us this morning.
Top of the hour it is. We'll encourage you. There's a little fog in the area, so we'll encourage you to kind of take it easy out there as you're on your way to wherever you're headed. There's children standing beside the roadways, and you want to be sure as you travel through residential areas, kind of take it easy out there and watch out for those youngsters standing beside the road.
That's right. We want to keep all our children safe on the way to school.
We sure do. Well, here we are again. It's a Thursday morning. So what's up today?
Well, what's up today is we are talking about a big event starting this weekend.
Really?
Hillbilly Hike. The Hillbilly Hike is this Saturday.
Oh,
it's going to
boy.
be held at Waynesboro Park.
Do you have to be a hillbilly?
Well, you have to pretend to be. No.
Well, I won't be pretending.
Well, it's Hillbilly Hike themed, and it is a 5K.
Okay.
And it's going to be at Waynesboro Park this weekend.
Okay.
It is something unique and different, and I'm expecting it to be so large we're going to make it an annual event, Wayne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what the talks are. They've got a pretty good response. As a matter of fact, I think they're excited about how large the response is so far.
Yeah.
It's a 5K, but it'll be an obstacle course at Waynesboro Park. You register online at hillbillyhike.com. Or you can just go to the city's website or Facebook page. All the information is there. You can actually see video clips of all the different obstacles you'll be doing. And it is quite hilarious, to be quite honest. I was showing it to my son recently, and he was enthralled by it. He was just surprised we had something quite like this with this little hillbilly twist on it here in Goldsboro.
You never know what you're going to find here in Wayne County and in the city of Goldsboro.
Right.
There's always something unique, something a little different. And this apparently is one of them, the Hillbilly Hike.
And you know, there's so many people that really, every weekend or every few weekends, they're looking for 5Ks or different kind of runs or obstacle courses. And this obstacle course is the new way of doing things.
Oh.
That's what
so
I'm
they weren't
hearing.
happy with the way it was.
They don't want to just run. They want to run. The people want to climb over
Jump.
obstacles and go through swamps, so I'm hearing, and
Swamps.
go figure.
Swamps.
Ditches.
Ditches and swamps.
There you go.
You know what would really make it
All
interesting?
dressed as a hillbilly with your mullet on.
Well, of course. Huh?
You can wear a mullet wig. Remember
Oh, you're talking about the hair.
The hair.
Every time I hear mullet, I think of fish. Yeah.
Well, think mullet. Back in the, 80s was the big time that, who was it, like Billy Ray Cyrus? And
Yeah.
a lot of those guys wore that.
That cut. Yeah.
We'll call it just a cut.
Okay. Because when you talk about wearing a mullet, I'm thinking about putting a fish on your head, and that's just not going to
That's not, you can put one in your pocket if you want to and try to do the obstacle course, but I'm not thinking that's going to go over real well.
Yeah. All right. Who's wearing a mullet?
But it's a 5K this weekend, this Saturday morning, but you
boy.
do need to register ahead of time.
Oh, boy. And
they have groups.
Again?
Yeah, you can do groups of 4. You can do like teams, or you can do individuals.
Yeah.
They'll hand out awards at the end of it this weekend, this Saturday. Even if you don't want to participate, go watch Waynesboro Park.
And there is not an award. Let me tell you right now, there's not an award for the guy with the ugliest fish on his head. Okay?
No, but there will be lots of awards given out.
Oh, okay.
There sure will. And who's dressed the most hillbilly-like will also, they'll get an award
good.
as well, along with those that finish with the best time, of course.
I wonder if there's anyone who's not aware of of the hillbilly genre.
Well, if not, they can sure find it out.
Hillbilly and genre don't sound right together, do
I
they? Hillbilly look, huh?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
That's this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Bring your banjo. Shane Smith with the Environmental Health Office, as well as Wallace Simmons with Cooperative Extension Service, and Connie Price. Only 3 of the guests on today's program, and we'll be hearing from them a little later on.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. What else is going on this weekend?
Well, this weekend at the Wayne County Public Library and the Gertrude Wheel Auditorium, there's going to be some picking and grinning, but it will be classical picking and grinning. A gentleman by the name of Peter Fletcher, one of the Fletcher brothers, is going to be there at the library, and he'll be playing classical music, guitar. And he is quite renowned. He studied under John Sutherland, a classical guitar instructor, and he made his formal debut at the age of 15. He's been going strong ever since. Has several recordings out and has received critical acclaim for those recordings. So we'll encourage you, and it's free. If you enjoy,
always nice.
Yeah, it is. And if you don't know whether you like classical music or not, I'll still encourage you to go, because I promise you, you will. Particularly classical guitar. Peter Fletcher's his name. It starts at 2 o'clock in the Gertrude Wheel Auditorium at the Wayne County Public Library. We'll encourage you to go.
And you know, if you are a nonprofit or if you're a part of a nonprofit that would like to share your information about what's happened locally, email it to us. And I believe it's WGTV at waynegov.com.
That's
it. Is that right?
That's
All right.
it. She's got it. All right. All right. Very quickly, the weather forecast is just outstanding. We'll be again today in the low 80s, overnight tonight in the upper 50s. Weather's just gorgeous.
It is perfect.
Fair skies we have and we'll continue to have, with a little bit of fog out there this morning, and that's going to be lifting pretty soon. The mention of rain, the only mention of rain is a 20%, only a slight chance of rain Friday afternoon and Friday night. And then after that, yesterday we had word it might be rain over the weekend. Well, you can just throw that away. The weekend's going to be gorgeous. Again, temperatures will be up a little bit in the mid-80s, and it's really going to be nice again this weekend. So make plans now to do something in Wayne County this weekend, whether
That's
it's a hillbilly hike or the...
Movies on the lawn with Parks and Rec,
Yes!
the Herman Park Center.
Yes! Herman Park Center,
That's right.
movies on the lawn.
This Friday night.
That's this Friday night.
This Friday night.
This Friday night.
Free.
No.
I mean, you know, think about all these different events that we have. So many of them are free to the community. They're unusual, nice. A lot of them are family-oriented events. You couldn't ask for more than what we've got to offer.
You couldn't ask for more than that.
That's right.
I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
but it wasn't us. Okay.
But
you're
movies
right.
on the lawn.
That's right. You can't ask for more than that. Let's see now. Here it is, a Thursday morning, and coming up, let's see who we have first of all here. We're going to take a look at some of the programs, some of the interviews that we have had with you here on Channel 10. And by the way, if, as Kim mentioned, if you have an announcement, an event, something you want the public to know about, we'd love to hear from you. Again, WGTV at waynegov.com, and we'll get it and put it on the air for you, okay? Up next, we have...
Shane Smith?
actually, it's 4-H Director Wallace Simmons is going to
Okay.
be here in just a moment. We'll start with Shane Smith, though. Shane Smith, we're also going to be hearing from several others during the course of the hour. But we'll start with, in fact, we have an update coming up from Sarah Merritt of the Arts Council.
Arts Council.
Today we're talking with Shane Smith of the Office of Environmental Health here in Wayne County. And Shane, your office... You guys do so many things, and one of the areas you inspect here in Wayne County is you inspect daycare.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have a lot of daycares here in the area.
We do have a lot of daycares in the area. We have a lot of good daycare operators, and we have plenty in the area. But we have a large population that's spread out in the county.
Yeah.
So you have to look at, in the different areas, and the different communities that are in need for daycares, and we have a lot of them that have to be inspected.
Indeed, we do, and you're right. We do have a lot of good daycare operators here in the area. But when you go in to inspect a daycare, do you go in unannounced?
Yes, they're done twice a year.
And what are you looking for when you go into a daycare?
Well, first of all, you want to go in, and if they actually do food prep on site, it's just like a food inspection that we would go into a restaurant. So you're inspecting the food prep and making sure they're meeting safety precautions in that area. But then you're also speaking with the daycare operators and the daycare workers and making sure they know how to properly change diapers, the proper sanitation of mouthable surfaces for children and your diaper changing areas. You're looking for, general sanitation as far as floors, walls, ceilings, and mouthable toys and equipment that the children are playing with, and then making sure that all steps are being promoted as far as to limit the spread of any kind of disease or of sickness inside the daycare, as far as making sure they're using a proper sanitizing solution and washing and sanitizing all your food and mouthable surfaces as much as possible.
Yeah, is there anything at all that a daycare operator often just doesn't realize or has misconceptions of, or are they pretty much up on everything?
We actually have a really good situation in Wayne County. We have the Partnership for Children here in Wayne County that actually goes and teaches a lot of classes, and they actually go in and do any kind of training that the facility desires. You look for your star ratings, and the more you see, I think they can go up to 4 or 5 stars. The Partnership with Children actually are teaching those classes. And then we also have the state licensing board that before they even get to our part, they have to go through their licensing. So they're giving a lot of information before we even come out. And we have our inspectors. We have 4 inspectors that we can go in and do training, and we have lots of questions whenever they do a training for the state. We'll go in and do a sanitation exhibit, to let them know the things that we're looking for. So they're pretty aware of what we're looking for as far as to meet the requirements. And then whenever we go out, if it's a new rule change, we always get the information out well beforehand we go do an inspection.
You mentioned the star rating system by the Partnership for Children. Does your office, do you rate?
No, sir. We do it in a demerit score just like we would as far as a restaurant. It's not given an A, B, or C. It's just given a total demerit, and you see that when you walk in. It's the first thing that you look for, along with the star rating of the facility.
All right, so what would you recommend to someone who is new to the area, who may be looking for a good a daycare center? What are some of the things they look for?
You want to make sure, as far as there's a good, they have to have an appropriate child-to-teacher ratio, and that's taken care of by the partnership. But you can look at your demerit scores. You can talk with the partnership, and they can give you a list of daycares, or even with the county. And all of our information is public, record. So if they have a question about it and see what the demerits are, we can get that information to them. But always talk with the operator, do a full view of the daycares you're going through. I mean, you can look at the facility and see if it's being taken care of. And you can ask them about things as far as, what's your sanitizing procedure, how do you deal with an accident or a sick child if you have one, what is your procedure on that? So make sure you ask plenty of questions, the same way we do when we go in to do an inspection.
Ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. I mean, that's anything that we do as far as any of our inspections, that we're trying to make sure they have that knowledge, and if they don't, we can try to educate them when we're there on site.
All right, but they can call your office and you can help them.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Any kind of question they have on that, they can call 919-731-1174, and any one of our inspectors will be glad to help. 919-731-1174. And we've been talking with Shane Smith of the Wayne County Environmental Health Office. And Shane, I appreciate you being with us today. Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. 731-1174, Shane Smith. And I'm Wayne Alley for WGTV.
Welcome to WGTV Today. Joining me this morning is Sarah Merritt, Executive Director of the Arts Council of Wayne County. Thank you for joining us, Sarah.
Thank you.
The Arts Council of Wayne County has a new location.
Yes, we do.
Tell us where you are.
We are located at 102 North John Street, right downtown. We're on the corner of Walnut and John Street.
And we are glad to have you.
We are happy to be
here. What a beautiful facility.
Yes.
And how perfect is that for the community to be able to walk in and enjoy all the things the Arts Council offers.
That's right. That's right.
To find out what all you offer, where can people go online?
Our website is www.artsandwayne.org, and that's ARTSINWAYNE.org. And we keep up to date with all of our events, and so if they go to that webpage and click Arts ACWC events,
Okay,
then
great.
they should get a pretty complete list.
Well, tell us all about these programs that you're offering this fall.
Oh, wow. We have so many things that go on at the Arts Council. We have our year-round exhibits that pretty much run every 6 weeks. We have our First Friday event that will start up again in the fall, and that's the first Friday of the month. That is a wonderful event that is been really very successful, and everybody just loves it, and it's really drawn a nice crowd. But it's a way for us to it's kind of like an open house.
Okay.
We open our doors. We're always open anyway, but people can come in the evening and meet the artists, meet local artists.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Have a lot of times we have our artists that are in our art market come in and set up, bring in even more of their artwork. We also really work hard to feature the studio artists that are renting studio space from us on the second floor.
And what time of night is that?
It's from 5 to 8,
Okay.
and people can come in. We have refreshments. It's free and open to the public.
Nice. Okay.
And they
it's just
can,
a way to get to see what
It
is
is,
offered,
and
especially if you work and you're not able to get downtown
Right,
during the day.
and we
That's
try,
perfect.
a lot of times we have live music, and then it's really a wonderful way for people to come in and meet the artists that
Right.
are in our studios, and even see them at work and really get to know them. And so it's
That's
a great
the first
program.
Friday of every month,
It's the first
except
Friday.
for maybe in the summer.
Usually, we didn't do it in July and August this summer because
Okay.
of so many people were gone,
Right.
and so
But you're starting up.
yep, we're
Ready
starting
to go.
up. Yep, we sure
That's
are.
fantastic. Well, okay, so that's First Friday. And tell me about some of the other events that you do throughout the year.
Oh, wow. Well, we always have, each quarter we put out a new round of adult and children's art classes.
Okay.
Of course, we have our music classes that run year-round as well, for piano, guitar, and violin.
But for
the
children?
Yes, so the children's art classes, we offer everything from painting to jewelry making to paper mache to pottery. And adult classes runs the gamut from knitting to, jewelry to painting. It's kind of, we really listen to what people ask us for, and try to kind of program our classes based on that.
So if we ask you for cake decorating,
then I could probably make that happen. And I think we're going to do that toward Christmas.
that's
so,
great.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And truffle making?
Yes, we're going to be doing a truffle making class in the fall, and
Wow.
also a gingerbread house decorating class.
Oh, you've done that for a while.
Yes, that's my thing. That's my fun little
That's pretty
hobby on the
neat.
side. I'm not teaching the class, but I certainly will take part
So
in it.
you bring in specialists to come in for each of these topics and teach whatever the citizens have asked for, basically. Well, how neat is that?
Yeah.
And all these classes and these dates and times that these are offered can be found on your website.
Yes, and we will announce the fall class schedule should be up in the very near future. So, but classes will really resume at the end of September. So.
And you offer some special projects and programming throughout the year as well.
Yes, we do a lot of different things. We're going to be we have an exhibit in October that opens that features African American music heritage musicians. And so with that, we'll be doing a lot of special programming. We'll have free music events at the Arts Council. We'll have opportunities for people to come in and meet musicians and talk to them and hear about their lives and their work.
Wow.
And then we'll also be restarting our jam sessions that we started a couple years ago that we were doing at the Flying Shamrock.
What's a jam session?
It's just a really wonderful way. We open it up, and it's free. Anybody can come. If you're a musician, if you're an aspiring, come in and play. And we have a core group that kind of plays, and then people can just bring their stuff and hop on up there and
whatever your instrument may be.
And it's always amazing, and and people just love it. So we're going to start it back up and really highlight the musicians in our community. So that's kind of one way we enhance different things that we do.
Well, how about your prices?
For the classes, we work really hard to make sure our classes are cost efficient or cost effective, and meaning that we try to keep the cost as low as possible. So we really just work to make sure that we can cover the cost of the supplies and the fees for the instructor. And then we also have for children, if a family has a child that really is interested in art and maybe the cost might be not in their budget, that's not a problem. They just need to contact us because we do offer scholarship slots for children in the community, and that's been a wonderful thing that we just started, and it's really been a blessing, and I'm glad we did it. And I
it's
think
going to open the door for many children who maybe wouldn't be able to walk in your doors and participate. So your classes, you keep the fees extremely budget oriented, and then a lot of your events, or most of your events, are free to the general public anyway.
Every once in a while we have something that's ticketed, but even then we try to keep the ticket price as low as possible.
So on a regular basis, anyone can walk in. Doesn't cost a thing to look at the local art.
Free. Yep.
If whether it's your art market or the exhibits that are going on throughout the year, and you have many of those every 6 or 8 weeks, you're bringing in new artists to focus on what they have to offer. So you have so many programs and special events throughout the year. We'd like to invite everybody in the city of Goldsboro, the county of Wayne, to come see the new Arts Council.
Check it out. It's really great.
And the website, once again?
It's www.artsinwayne.org.
We'd love to have you come by the Arts Council of Wayne County and see what the citizens and the local artists have to offer.
We're talking with Wallace Simmons of the Wayne County Cooperative Extension Office. And Wallace, thanks for being with us.
It's a pleasure. My pleasure to be here.
Now, you're the 4-H agent here in Wayne County.
Yes, sir.
And what does that mean? And what do you do besides being a 4-H agent, or does that take all your time?
4-H takes a lot of my time, but I have a little bit of time at night and stuff like that. But young people are, of course, in school most of the day, and we do have some school programs, but we're out of school for the most part, and so we're working with young people at night. And what we do with the young people is try to teach them leadership skills and public speaking, and also how to become a better citizen. A lot of things we focus on is health, education, and job, so the young people can get a job after they've been through the 4-H program. They become good workers and good citizens, and that's what we're striving to achieve.
What age group are we talking about?
We have young people 5 to 19. Of course, after 19, they can come back and be a volunteer, and even if you're not in 4-H, you can come back and be a volunteer at the same time. All you have to do is get in contact with me. So.
All right. Now, 4-H, for someone who may not be familiar with 4-H, what are some of the activities that these young people experience and learn from in 4-H?
Well, 4-H is probably the clover itself is one of the most recognized symbols in the world, but a lot of people associate that with agriculture, and we do have a strong heritage in agriculture, and here in Wayne County especially, as being one of the top agriculture counties in the state, we do a lot with our livestock, but we have a lot of other activities. Youth can get involved in things that deal with healthy lifestyles and leadership and civic education, and so they get involved with a lot of community service. We even have a robotics club.
Oh, wow.
We have a shooting
Yeah.
sports club.
Right.
So we do a lot of non-traditional things here that people really haven't associated with 4-H in the past. But 4-H is open to everyone, and it does have something for everybody.
Now, I know there are a lot of programs out there, not only 4-H, but there are a lot of programs that are available to young people. But now 4-H, I personally have seen young people go into 4-H who were a bit on the mild, meek side and come out just absolute tigers and just ready to take on the world. Have you seen that?
I've seen that. I've been a 4-H agent for 24 years, so I've seen a lot of that. And I think that's the good thing about 4-H. We have the opportunity to put them in a place where they can grow. They can grow with a caring adult, whether it's somebody from our office or with another parent or with the parent themselves. And so we put them in a situation where they can grow and become a productive citizen. And they come out of their shell for a lot of reasons. We put them in those leadership skills and positions like a county council officer or club officers. They learn to speak in front of a group, and they come out of their shells, and they really blossom.
Now, I know not every single program out there is 100%, but there have been, I'm sure, there have been some students who just couldn't grasp what to do or how to handle it. But what would you say the percentage would be of people you would consider successful at 4-H?
Well, at 4-H, I think we do have something for everybody. We're probably pretty close to 99% successful.
Wow.
Now, if you can't find something to do that you like in 4-H, you really do not have very many hobbies or ambitions to do much of anything. So we do have something for almost everybody, and that includes our minority populations that we have in the county. We have a Latino program. We also have things for our military youth to come in, so we can draw our youth in off the base. And so we go out into the community. We have volunteers that are working out there, and we're trying to make sure that we have something for everybody.
Something for everybody, that would include all sorts of competition, all sorts of learning experiences, all sorts of study groups. And as you mentioned, how many activities did you say that are available?
Well, there's over 280 different activities, educational opportunities, and every year we host several events and activities at the county. But these are project areas that they can get involved in, whether it's in livestock or robotics. But we also have stuff that we do set up at the county office, like our day camps. This past summer we had 34 day camps that was set up, and on a variety of different things, including going to the zoo. So and that's one of the things. Pretty much everybody likes to have fun.
Everybody likes the zoo, yeah.
So
that's it's fascinating. So how does a young person become a 4-H'er?
Well, there's no fees to be in 4-H.
No fees?
No fees. And it's
I like the price.
Yeah, it's a good price. And we do have things that does cost as they go to some of the district, state, and national events, but it's kind of pay as you go. And we do have scholarship available for some of the things like that. Sometimes they have to earn their scholarships through the public speaking or whether it's a poster contest or things like that. So they earn some of the scholarships, and they get to go on and meet people from all across the county, state, and even the national events. So they'll get to meet young people their own age with their same interest all over the world, actually.
Yeah. You know, I've got a message for young people, somebody who may be listening out there. I'll tell you right now, there are plenty of adults who have spent thousands and thousands of dollars to learn how to speak in public. The Dale Carnegie course is one example of what people do. Now, here's the 4-H. If you're between the ages of 5 and 19, this is a great opportunity for you. How would they become a member?
All they really need to do is call our office. We have a couple of different ways. They can call our office and join up as in a club, or we have a program that we call a member at large, where they pick and choose from the activities that we set aside, whether it's county or state, and they get on our enrollment list, and we sign them up and put them in a computer system, and then when we have something, we send them a newsletter and information through the email or text, and so they can know what's coming up, and when they see something that's of an interest to them, they pretty much call and sign up.
Okay, now that would be, you mentioned at-large. That's an at-large member?
At-large member.
Are there groups or clubs available in various neighborhoods and communities around the county?
We have clubs all over the county. So
Okay.
we do have something almost for everybody, including a robotics club, a shooting
Robotics club. That's got to be really popular right now.
It is really popular. We have a lot of young people who are going some statewide competitions. They're hoping to go to some regional competitions this year, and they learned a lot of skills and meet a lot of different people as they're putting that robot together and getting ready for that competition. For those who are into competition and really learning about robotics and electronics and electricity and how to put those together, that's a great club.
Wow.
We have a shooting sports club. We have our traditional clubs out there that look at our livestock. We have a brand new livestock club. It was some horse club. It's converted over into a livestock, so they're dealing with more species of animals, and so we have that traditional programs. We have young people who are growing things. They'll grow a part of our gardening program, and they'll get involved in that.
Wow.
So almost everything.
Well, that's it's fascinating. It's interesting. So they should call your office if they want to know more about this, how to become an at-large member, or find one of the clubs in their own neighborhood. What's your phone number?
That's 919-731-1527.
731-1527, 1527.
Just give us a call, and we'll be glad to hook you up. They can even call my personal cell phone if they'd like to. So.
Okay, but let's just give them 731-1527 for right now.
Okay.
All right, let me ask you, we're almost out of time here, but I wanted to take just a moment and ask you, where's home for you? Where are you from?
Well, I am originally from Kentucky.
That's okay, somebody has to be from there.
I guess a good place to be from.
Yeah.
But I moved to North Carolina about 26 years ago, and out of college, and then I started with the 4-H program soon after that, and I've been in 4-H for 24 years, and so that's the reason we're able to build a program here in Wayne County. It's one of the top programs in the state.
Yeah.
Really proud of it. We have
Great.
a lot of good people and a lot of caring adults who work very hard for 4-H and with 4-H, and we'd like to have all the young people here in Wayne County join 4-H.
There you go. It's that easy. Now, you, sir, are sitting on a record-breaking pumpkin. I mean, not literally and not right now, but you have a pumpkin that, and tell me about your pumpkin here real quick.
Well, I do have hobbies, and I use hobbies like that. I grow giant pumpkins, and this year I did grow what I consider it's a Wayne County record pumpkin and probably an eastern North Carolina pumpkin. Now, it's not the largest pumpkin that I've ever grown, but it weighs 550 pounds, and I think we'll probably get a picture of it and send it out in some of the newspapers and some of the programs here that you'll get to see the pumpkin. Hopefully it'll last through some of the fairs and things like that for those who like to come to fairs and see the giant pumpkins. It's a very nice pumpkin.
Normally, how long does something like that last?
Well, it depends. If you take real good care of it and keep it cool, it can last several months. But if you damage it, if it's like any other fruit, it is a fruit. If you bruise it or you tear it up.
Pumpkins are fruit.
They're fruit, so if you damage it, then you bruise it, somebody comes up and slaps on it or scratches it, it can cause an area where a disease or an infection can get into the fruit and then start rotting just like a bad apple.
So look but don't touch.
Now look but don't touch.
Now, what do you do with a pumpkin like that, besides show it at fairs?
Well, it's because it is a hobby. It does take a lot of time and effort, and I do that mostly at night. You'll see my neighbors think I'm crazy, probably out there spraying at night. But I do show it at the fairs, and then you can make. I have had it make big jack-o'-lanterns. You know, you're looking at something that's 12 feet around. And you know,
there's a 12-foot circumference.
So when you
Whoa!
set it up on the side, it does look really huge, and then you can carve it and make a nice jack-o'-lantern out of it.
All right.
And, there's people who sometimes use them on the agritourism farms and stuff who like to purchase them from me. So I do sell a few of them, but usually I get enough to pay for my gas money, and that's about it. So,
all right.
But you'll see it at the county fair probably if it makes it that far, and then on to the state fair and places like that.
And of course, Wayne Regional Agricultural Fair cranking up the end of this month, and we'll run through the first week of October for 10 days there. We'll talk more about that a little later on. But we have had with us as our guest today pumpkin grower and 4-H agent Wallace Simmons, and we appreciate you being with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here, and I look forward to seeing more of you in the 4-H program. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to WGTV.
It is a Thursday. It is the 13th. Your lucky day.
Your lucky day.
It's the 13th. after
That's
all.
right. It is a lucky day for lots of people.
It is indeed. You know, there's a golf tournament coming up. The Wayne County Development Alliance office is offering a Wayne County Industry Celebration 2012. It's coming up on October 23rd. You have plenty of time to go out and work on your golf swing. This is going to be held at the Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course, Wayne County Industry Celebration 2012. And if you have any questions, you can contact one of the fine folks over at the Wayne Economic Alliance office, Development Alliance office. All right?
And you know what?
What?
They have new champion Bermuda greens at the Wayne County.
I love
actually
greens.
the Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course.
I didn't realize greens were popular in Bermuda. I love greens. Put a little salt and pepper, a little bit of
Little vinegar.
little vinegar on there. Oh man.
Well,
Nothing
not
but-
to confuse you, we're really not talking about collard greens or turnip greens. We're talking about grass. We're talking about champion Bermuda greens that have been put down at the Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course. And
Oh.
I'm hearing that the putting and the playing on the golf greens are absolutely phenomenal.
The putting and the putting and the.
How about
the
putting?
Putting is good. That's good. And the playing.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
But you know, that is a beautiful course out
It
there,
is.
and they have just a fantastic driving range.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have trouble driving, then you could practice your swing.
You know, they actually have just renovated, and they have new locker rooms for both the men and women.
Really?
Women didn't have a locker room out there before. It was just a very small area. I know, imagine
The
that.
nerve!
I know.
I'm telling you.
But they have really redone that, and it looks fantastic. The men's locker room have been expanded,
Yeah.
totally remodeled, and now the women have a locker room. So the champion Bermuda greens and and now the new locker rooms. What more could you ask for?
Vinegar? All right. All right. Guess what today is?
What's today?
Today is Muppet Day. You like the Muppets? You ever heard of the Muppets? You know who
I've
the
heard
Muppets
of
are?
them. I sure have.
All right. Well, today is Muppet Day, marking the TV premiere of The Muppet Show this day, 1976. The Muppets. Today is also Fortune Cookie Day in San Francisco, birthplace of the fortune cookie. A lot of people thought that was an Asian creation, but no. The fortune cookie was actually, it was invented and became popular, first of all, in San Francisco, of all places.
My goodness.
Today is also Positive Thinking Day. I think it is. No, I'm positive today is Positive Thinking Day. Today is also Scooby-Doo Day, marking the 1969 premiere of the cartoon series Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And one of my favorite actors is having a birthday today. Woody Woodpecker
Oh my gosh.
is having a birthday today. Woody Woodpecker is 71 years today, and the story is, you know, that he was the creation of a guy named Walter Lantz. You know who Woody Woodpecker is,
Absolutely.
right? Okay, just wanted to make sure because, well, anyway. Walter Lantz created the character Woody Woodpecker, and they were trying to find someone who could do the voice of Woody Woodpecker.
You do it pretty well.
Yeah. So anyway, they were trying to figure out who was going to do the voice, and they auditioned all these people, and Walter Lantz's wife said, you know, I could do that. And he said, no, you can't do that. I'm looking for someone who has the Woody Woodpecker voice. He says, I have it in my mind what I think it should sound like. So one day he got a tape. That's back when tape was used in the mail, and it was the perfect voice. And there was a contact number or an address or something on that, and guess who it was?
His wife.
It was his wife. She won the audition on her own without being a friend or known to Walter Lantz. He hired her on the spot after
All the
hearing that
things
voice.
you have to do
I know.
to prove yourself.
Amazing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Oh, boy. All right, what else do we have going on today?
Well, do you like to sing, dance, or act?
Well,
Would you like dinner?
Oh, yeah.
You like eating dinner?
Are you kidding me? Greens, bring them on, man.
Well, a local group called Encore Entertainment.
Oh, I know those guys.
I figured you
Yeah.
might. Well, they are offering an Encore Entertainment production.
Oh,
It is called Made to Order, M-A-I-D.
Oh.
Made to Order.
Okay.
It's a comedy.
okay.
And they're going to offer it at 2 locations. It will be Friday, October the 5th and Saturday, October the 6th. The first location will be at Dudley Christian Church.
All right.
The show starts at 6:30 in the evening. And then that following night, Saturday, October the 6th, it will be at New Hope Friends Church here in Goldsboro.
Okay.
And they can contact, the number is 919-735-4366. That's the number actually at Dudley Christian Church where you can purchase these tickets for the dinner theater. They're $25 each. That includes dinner, of course, the play Made to Order.
Made to Order, M-A-I-D.
That's right, and it is going to take place in Dudley, D-U-D-L-E-Y.
Okay.
Encore Entertainment.
Encore Entertainment. Well, one of Goldsboro's showcases is, of course, the Paramount Theater, downtown Goldsboro. And Sherry Archibald is back with us to tell us more about the Paramount. First of all, however, we hear from Phyllis Smith with the Department of Social Services, and Phyllis will explain the Energy Assistance Program. Today we're talking with Phyllis Smith, and Phyllis is a supervisor with the Wayne County Energy Program. What is the Energy Program?
The energy program is, there's two different programs. They're geared towards helping people with their heating and their cooling expenses. The program we have going on now is the Crisis Intervention Program. We can help individuals who qualify within the income limits if they have a disconnection notice on their cooling source. They can get up to $600 a year, and it is a fiscal year. So it starts over every July 1st.
July 1st it begins again. Now is this geared mainly toward the heating during the winter months, or is
Yes.
it geared? It is. All right.
It's the heat source during the winter months and the cooling source during the summer months.
Okay, so if someone's having a problem paying their bill, how would they qualify to get assistance?
They would need a disconnection notice for the cooling season, and we would need their income, and as long as they qualified income-wise and had a disconnection notice, we would be able to assist them more than likely.
What are the parameters or the limits on the income?
A household of 1 is $13.62. Household of 4 is $27.95.
$13.62 a month and $27.95
$95
a month for a family of 4 per month. And if they if their income is below that amount, is that for the whole house, or is it
The whole house.
for the whole household? They make below that per month, then they would qualify, providing they have a disconnection notice.
Correct.
Now that's mandatory, is it not?
Yes, it
They have
is.
to be in danger of losing their power.
Right, and provided that it is a company that works with us or is willing to work with us.
All right. For instance, who would a company be that works with us?
Progress Energy, Tri-County,
Okay.
Town of Fremont.
Right.
Most of the ones around here do.
Well, Phyllis, I understand that this past session, they tried something a little differently, and that was they first responded to the 60 and older.
That's the Low Income Energy Assistance Program. That's done in the winter. It's normally November, December.
Now, is this a different program?
This is a different program,
So
with
this is a
different pot of
different
money.
program. Okay.
And this doesn't have to, this does not require a disconnection notice.
I see.
Suppose that you use a gas company and you need gas in your tank. We can send a credit to the company. This past year, if you used, depending on what kind of heat source you used, depending on how much you got. And they did target the elderly first. We did that at the beginning, and we did outreach at Wages and different places in the county.
All right, but now for this program, you do not need a
You
disconnect
do
notice.
not need a disconnection notice.
Okay. But it would have to be for someone who is having trouble paying their power bill.
Not necessarily, as long as they're within the income limit, they can get it.
Same income limit?
Same income limit.
One person, $1,362 a month. A household of 4 people, $2,795 a month. If they're below those numbers,
Correct.
then they would qualify, and without necessarily needing a disconnect notice.
Right.
All right. How would they find out more about this? And it's going to be cold here in just a couple of months, in spite of the fact that we've had tremendously hot weather here of late. How would someone qualify, or how would they get more information?
We do put flyers out, and we did also do a presentation that was on Channel 10 last year. And basically they can call, or they can, we put flyers up everywhere. So there's a big outreach in the newspaper as well.
Okay. Okay. What are the numbers of the office if they need to call?
The numbers for, especially for the Crisis Intervention Program, is 919-731-1011 or 919-731-1060. That's the workers' direct number. They can also call the main number, which is 919-580-4034.
919-580-4034, and they can reach someone directly by calling 731-1011 or 731-1060.
That's correct.
Good. We've been talking with Phyllis Smith. Phyllis is a supervisor with the Wayne County Energy Program, and I thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for your time.
This is Wayne Alley for WGTV.
Sherry Archibald with the Paramount Theater, and I'm here to talk to you about an event that's coming up that has a lot of fighting and excitement coming up on the stage. The last weekend of September, we are looking forward to the Three Musketeers, and I have with me someone that you see on the camera quite often, but he's taking a different role today. Vincent Bridgers is here with me today to talk about this event because you are directing this play, correct?
That's right. It's a lot of fun. It's kicking off
The Three Musketeers, I don't think I introduced it
right.
yet.
We're kicking off Center Stage Theater's 35th anniversary season. So yeah, we're starting with Three Musketeers, which is a lot of fun. It's all, you know, adventure, swordplay, swashbuckling.
That's great too. The choreography is wonderful. When you really look, I mean, professional with your fighting, you know that you are prepared for a play.
Had some additional rehearsal time because of the fighting, because we wanted to be sure that we were very safe, and there are a lot of different fights during the show. Anything from there's like one-on-one fights, of course, but then there's actually the big fight scene between the Three Musketeers, D'Artagnan, and the Cardinal's Guards, where there's 11 people on stage at one time with swords fighting.
And these are not plastic swords.
No, these are stage combat swords. They're basically like, compared to a beefed up fencing sword. They're not as flexible as those, but they're very nice pieces of equipment. But we had Mr. Steve Wetzel of the Shadow Players of Raleigh come down and do our fight choreography. He does a lot of pirate reenactments and things like that. So he's actually, if you've been to an ECU Pirates game, he comes out as a pirate during those games.
Very good. So you've probably seen him when you've been at an ECU game, and you all have had him come here for some of the choreography, and you've gone there as well, haven't you?
Yep, we've gone up to Raleigh. The first month of rehearsal was all swordplay. So we went up to Raleigh for weekend rehearsals and some training, and then he came down here once or twice a week to help us with that as well.
Have there been any injuries?
Nothing major.
Sounds like a story to that.
The blades are intentional. They're all dull, and they all have like a little button on the end of them, so you can't really stab somebody. But if you hit someone in the arm, or if you get poked, it does hurt a little bit, and it can leave a mark. But as we've had one or two incidents with that, but nothing big.
Some small bruises walking around town.
Exactly. It's part of the fun of being in the show.
Very good. Well, this event, of course, is coming up the last weekend, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. There's an opportunity for many performances, Friday night, Saturday night. It's both shows at 7:30, and then on Sunday at 3. You can purchase your tickets online or by calling the theater, so everything is ready to go there. But let's talk about the Three Musketeers. If there is anyone out there who just doesn't know a thing about the Three Musketeers, what would you tell them about the play?
Well, it's based off of something called the D'Artagnan Romances, which was by Alexandre Dumas, and it's a really, really classic story. It's been so many different adaptations of it now, including a really recent movie adaptation in 2011. Of course, that one goes a little bit above and beyond because it's supposed to be set in the 1600s, and they have, flying airships in the new movie and stuff like that. We don't have that.
None of that, nothing flying.
But it's about a young man coming to the age of 18 named D'Artagnan, and he is destined to become a musketeer who's a king's guard, King Louis XIII. In France, and so his father was a musketeer, and he wanted to kind of follow in the footsteps. And then on his way, he kind of falls into this plot against the king and queen that Cardinal Richelieu has set up. So he ends up running into the famous three musketeers, which is Athos, Porthos, and Aramis.
And the duties of a musketeer?
It's basically just to protect the king and defend the queen.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot of fighting going on, a lot of fun.
Well, it's a love story as well. It's a comedy adaptation. It's actually adapted by Ken Ludwig, who did shows like Moon Over Buffalo and Lend Me a Tenor. So if anybody is familiar with those shows, there's a lot of good comedy in it, a lot of action, a lot of adventure, and then, as I said, there's a love story as well because D'Artagnan meets one of the Queen's ladies in waiting on the way and falls in love with her.
Well, you've just all wrapped up into one. I mean, if you've got romance, comedy, entertainment, fighting,
a little bit of everything.
It's going to be for everyone. So
Yeah.
it's a great family night out for sure.
Definitely.
Well, definitely come and see us. We can process your tickets for you here at the theater, or you can call us at 583-8432 or visit our website at goldsboroparamount.com. Thank you so much, and I hope that you've enjoyed directing that play. I know that you're excited about showing it off and all the wonderful talent from the stage. So we look forward to seeing you here, and we look forward to seeing you all here in the audience to see The Three Musketeers on September the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Thank you.
What?
Welcome back.
Oh, welcome back. Yeah. And we're back. This is a Thursday morning at WGTV Today. Thanks for being with us. And if you're a nonprofit organization or group has an announcement to make, you want to tell everybody about it, just send us an email. Drop that email in the post office at, or something like that, at WGTV@waynegov.com. Again, WGTV@waynegov.com.
That's right. That's what we're here to do is to spread the word of what's happening locally here in Goldsboro and Wayne County. And if you have information you'd like to share with the community, please make sure you email it at that address that Wayne just gave you. And Wayne, how about an Alzheimer's awareness walk that is taking place at Wayne Community College?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That is called actually the Noose Region Alzheimer's Walk. And it's going to be on October the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And the walk is taking place at Wayne Community College, and they need teams of 4, teams of 6, and they're going to have a meeting today, later today, at 12 noon at Wayne Memorial Hospital, actually in their auditorium, just to talk about the details on how to work out the particular walk. But it's for a good cause, it really is. And it's going to be at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
is what time the walk is going to start, so it's a nighttime walk.
Okay.
On October the 20th.
Okay, October 20th at 7 p.m.
And they can contact Missy Harris at 919-734-7011 for more information.
Okay, I would venture to say that, pardon me, that just about everybody knows someone, or in their family they have had someone who has been somehow affected by dementia, Alzheimer's, something
Absolutely.
like that. In
So
fact,
this is a good way to bring attention to that cause.
Alzheimer's is an illness that falls under the bigger umbrella of dementia. Dementia covers so many things, but it's so important that we cover that.
It really is. It really is, and Wayne Community is holding that walk on October the 20th.
All right.
Well, Wayne, I believe another bit of information is keeping your children safe while driving in cars.
Well, now that would be good information.
Well, you know, how many times have you driven down the road and you've seen a child in a back seat of a car, front seat of a car, not buckled in?
Standing up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just imagine how unsafe that would be if something happened and they were in a car accident.
That is so dangerous.
Isn't it dangerous?
Yeah.
Well, Safe Kids Wayne County is a local chapter. It's a part of a worldwide Safe Kids, actually, organization. And they're all about preventing childhood injuries. That's what their entire means of being is about, preventing childhood injuries. And locally here in Goldsboro, what the Wayne County chapter is offering is in 2 locations on a regular basis, both at the Partnership for Children, which is 800 North William Street, and on Royal Avenue at the Goldsboro Fire Department on Royal Avenue. They are hosting on regular basis car seat checks. So you can just drive up. The technicians that are certified will actually check your car seat to see if it's installed correctly.
Yeah.
And on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, that's when you can go by the fire department on Royal Avenue from 2 until 5 p.m. And at the Partnership for Children, you can go on Mondays from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. And they'll check it for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't be careful enough. You just can't be careful enough. It's so dangerous. And people take it for granted that they're out
really
riding
do.
in an automobile and the kids are in the back seat. Well, they're in the back seat, they'll be okay. Well, no. They have to be buckled in. That's
Absolutely.
the law, by the way.
It is a law.
Yeah.
It is a law. And actually, you can go to safekids.org and you can find out additional information, or you can go to the partnership's website, pfcw.org, and that's partnershipforchildrenwayne.org. And they have information there that details all the state laws, all the national laws, so you can see exactly when your child needs to be in a booster seat, when they need to be in a specific type of car seat, how the car seat needs to be turned, which way it needs to be facing, that type of information.
That's good. That's pfcw.org.
Very good.
All right, there you go. Hey, Vicky Falconer from the Animal Adoption Center is going to be talking with us about distemper in dogs. That and more coming up next on WGTV Today. We're here today with Vicky Falconer, the director of the Animal Services Department. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that close enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, thanks for being here, Vicky. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
I guess in normal terms, something people are really familiar with is you run and you're in charge of the Animal Adoption and Education Center out on, where is that?
1600 Klingman Street.
That's right. 1600 Klingman Street. And how long have you been the director out there now?
It's been about 3 years.
Yeah. and it's been in the news lately. It's been in the news lately because of an event that happened. Tell us about the distemper thing here.
Back in the end of April, middle of April, end of April, we had a litter of puppies that were brought in, and they started getting sick, and they tested positive for distemper. We closed for 3 weeks then and did a very thorough cleaning from ceiling to floor every day, making sure that everything was taken care of. We opened back up perfectly fine, and then it was about, well, the 10th of August. We had a call come in where somebody had adopted a dog back the middle of June and stated that the vet thought it had distemper. I got the call on a Thursday. That Friday I went in and I had a puppy, had a runny nose, which is a very common sign of it. So with the possible distemper there again, we euthanized the puppy. It was sick, very lethargic, and I sent it to Raleigh up to the state lab, and they tested it again. This one was negative. Basically, it came back with just a rhinovirus, more or less just a cold.
So the puppy was ill.
The puppy was ill. It was it had worms very bad, which made it anemic, which was causing it to be lethargic, and it just more or less had a cold, runny nose, cough. But it can, in puppies, it can be it's very, very stressful on them. It's not a good thing for them either. So
that's too bad. It's tragic, but you didn't have a whole lot of choice.
No, I didn't. At that point, I had to take, and when I had the thought, because the signs for distemper are so close to kennel cough, it will mimic every type of disease that I could possibly have from.
So what are the symptoms, and what does it do to the puppies?
Basically, the signs for distemper, they start with the same thing as a kennel cough: runny nose, cough. It can lead to further where it's intestinal, where they're throwing up, runny stool, something of that nature. The very final step of it is neurological. They can start seizing, they shake. Puppies and older dogs, of course, are a lot more susceptible to it. The puppies, because they have no immunities to it. If they came from a mama that had no shots, they have absolutely no immunity to distemper. It's not a common thing. It's been years since it's been in the States, but they're stating with the mild winters that we had last year, the South is seeing it pretty bad because it didn't get cold enough to eliminate a lot of kill everything off. Same with fleas right now, ticks right now are really bad.
Yes, they are. So distemper is caused by, is it a virus?
It is. It's it's more or less just a basic virus, and it is spread through droplets, the sneezing, the coughing. It can, fecal and stuff like that can carry it, but it's very common to be aerial.
So while you may have a sick puppy, it doesn't mean necessarily that they have distemper, but it's a good idea to have it checked out.
Anytime you have a sick dog, sick puppy, it's the best to take it to the vet and have it checked out. A lot of your vets, there are some titers that they can do for distemper. A little more expensive, but you can do that. Most times the only way to test for distemper is through biopsies of organs.
Right.
So
the Animal Adoption and Education Center, that is, used to be called the Animal Shelter, but it's so much more now. Tell me about the center.
Well, when we were over on Brick Street, it was the Animal Shelter. It had 25, I think we had 12 dog cages, we had 25 cat cages. Everything was just put in, as they come in, they were just put in bunches in the kennels.
And that shelter had been there a number of years. It had a lot of age on it, and at the time it was built, that's what they did.
Yeah.
That's just what they did.
And as you get a little bit further, the disease control was tough in there because you're just putting dogs in together. I was only there about 1.5 years in the old building. From what I've been told, it had been there 50-some years.
Yeah.
So we moved over. It's been 4 years now. We've been in the new building. It's got 176 kennels for dogs and cats. It's a much bigger facility, very state-of-the-art. Everything is, most of them are in kennels by themselves. If they come in with a litter mate, a lot of times just for the stress of it, we go ahead and we'll let them stay together. There's rooms set up for different things. We have a puppy room, so it's just puppies and small dogs. We have 2 adoption kennels, which would be for your big dogs that are up for adoption. There's a dog isolation. It's basically for anything that would possibly start with the signs of kennel cough, or something of that nature, where if we can treat it and see if it's been to the vet and they say it's not contagious or it's not detrimental to the dog, we'll put it in there and try to treat it with the vet. Mange, different types of mange. Some aren't contagious. Demodex mange is hereditary. It's just in their system.
The thing is, though, that you go to great lengths to make sure that the animals that are visiting the center are healthy.
Yes, sir.
You go to great lengths to make sure that if there is a problem, they're immediately separated from the rest of the population of animals there in the center.
Yes, sir, I do. We have a vaccination intake system. Everything that comes in receives a distemper, parvo, and a kennel cough shot, trying to cut down on that whole disease spread. There's a lot of shelters in North Carolina that they can't do that. I'm lucky enough that I can. Cats get the same thing. They get a 7-way shot as soon as they come in, as long as they're of age. Covers distemper for cats. It covers, Calicia virus, different things that cats can carry. I can't treat them for everything. I can't test for everything. But I do the best. If they start showing signs, I take them to the vet. If it's nothing, the vet does his checkup. I pay for the checkup. If it's nothing really, maybe a parasite, an intestinal parasite, we treat that. But I cannot treat everything. I can't run tests on everything. So it's the bad thing. Strays come in. If they don't have their shots, I can't guarantee. But I do everything, and my staff, we do everything we can to make sure that they're healthy and they're not adopted out sickly.
And speaking of that, I know it's really, really difficult to adopt a pet from the animal adoption center. Isn't it really tough? I'm being facetious here.
Basically, to adopt, you have to come in. It changes every day. You come in, you pick something out that, you walk by and it jumps out at you in that kennel.
And then you take it home?
You do an application, and, it's approved on the spot.
Right.
The only things we have to do is if you have a landlord, we do have to talk to the landlord and make sure you're allowed that breed or you're allowed pets. One of the worst things for pets is to, people come in, they adopt them. They take them home, the landlord says no, they end up back in the shelter.
Yeah.
It's very, very stressful for that pet, and they don't understand, they were out, they were free, they had a good home, and now they're back. Not that we don't treat them, not that it's bad, but they're locked up in a kennel for 24 hours a day.
But it's really not difficult
No.
to adopt a pet.
No,
from
you
the
just
animal
come in, and as
center.
long as as long as your application passes, you walk out with your pet. If it's of age, it has its rabies shot when it walks out now. It's got a microchip when it goes out. It comes with insurance for 30 days.
All right, well, you and I will be talking again, and when we do, we'll be talking about the steps you go through to adopt a pet at the Wayne County Animal Adoption and Education Center. And our guest today has been Vicky Falconer of the Wayne County Animal Adoption and Education Center. We're out of time.
We are.
Milton Ingram is going to be with us tomorrow with the Wayne Regional Agricultural Fair. Looking forward to Milton being with us. Also tomorrow, County Planner Connie Price will have more information for us.
Fantastic.
And that's it for today.
Looking forward to it. Don't forget, send your events to WGTV at waynegov.com if you are wanting to promote anything locally. I can't talk this morning.
Well, that's okay. Okay. But we'll be back in here tomorrow morning on Friday morning. Hope you have a great day.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.